Um, Good afternoon. Is Catherine Beasley here, and I just wanted to come on here and chat with y'all for a little bit. I've been itching to get on here since late last night and earlier today, but I said I need to get some work done beforehand because something happened last night that um, made me realize that I probably no, I already knew this if I'm being really honest, that while I am not, um, so it's not even easy to say out loud, right? So I am handling the passing of my mom very well. But I also have to admit that I am repressing some feelings and things. And so, as such, um, I had a moment last night while on the call with the fantastic members of Team Orange of my mastermind on our hot seat. It was my turn to talk about wins. And so I'm excited. I'm talking about what I'm doing with the business as we're getting going. And hey, Ashley. Hey, Jay. And so I'm talking. And so I described caregiving for my mother as a burden, even though I tried to clean it up a little bit, right? So I go on, I finish saying what I'm saying, and everyone goes through theirs. We have a whole great discussion and strategizing about things that people can do in their businesses, things that I can do in mine. And the only thing that kept coming back to me is that when I was speaking, I had the audacity to say and use the word burden when I was talking about caregiving for my mother. I know what I meant. The people on my team knew what I meant. I took the time to write a post in our team chat to say, exactly what I'm saying to you, that I cannot believe that out of everything that happened, the one thing that's standing out for me is that I use the word burden. And, I mentioned that it is burdensome, right? We talked about the fact that being a caregiver is not easy, and that what I'm hoping to offer to caregivers is a way to make it easier for them, right? So I said all that, and I knew I didn't have to explain myself, but it was weighing so heavily on me that I did in the group. And then I just was done, right? And even now, it's ridiculous how I'm about to start tearing up again, right? Literally, I finally got it off my chest, and then, um, Jesus, Jeezums. Um, and then I was like, I'm going to sleep because I just couldn't. I didn't like it. It didn't make me feel good because that is totally not how I felt about caregiving for my mom. I understand that there were times when it was difficult. I recognize that and I accept that. And I don't want to ever whitewash or make it seem like it's a piece of cake to care for someone, right? But a burden, never. And so I'm saying to you all to give yourself grace. Like I need to give myself grace, and I apparently am not doing so yet since I'm crying about it again, even though I knew and everyone knew what I meant. But it is hard being a caregiver. But it's even harder in my instance because while I think that I'm okay, the little things like this that happen that make me understand that I'm probably um, just one instance away of cracking up before I pull myself back together, right? But it was really upsetting. And literally, then I wrote that in a post. And last night, I'm reading the responses that my teammates had and team members and coach had for me based on what I had written. And they were very heartwarming and encouraging. And it just made me cry even worse. So I couldn't even respond back to them last night. I read them again this morning. So thank you, good folk, for having my back and helping to lift me when I'm not lifting myself. And um, I just, again, want to say that we as caregivers and you as caregivers have to give yourself some grace. You have to allow yourself to feel all of the feels. You have to know that it's a difficult situation that you are in, but there are silver linings in there, and there are things that you can do and learn to make things easier for you. But in most things in life, we are our own worst critics, and we have to stop doing that, right? Give ourselves grace and take ourselves out of the situation, because when you bring you into the situation, right, you're talking about, or I'm talking about, when you bring your self-doubt and your self-criticism, right, it is exacerbating the situation, and it's only going to make it seem so much worse for you, right? And right, it's okay to not be okay. I will be here telling you all everything, right? And trying to encourage you. I will be the first to admit, and if this turns you off about me, it is what it is. I am much better at seeing the big picture and helping other people to apply it than applying it to myself. So I am a do as I say, not as I do kind of person when it doesn't mean that I don't have anything to offer to you. So this is one of those situations. I am just extremely hard on myself, and I'm nitpicking little things. And the fact that I used that one word that set me off, and even just thinking the one word right now, I'm starting to tear up again. It's ridiculous. Caregiving, at least in my situation, for some people caregiving is a burden, right? I in some Facebook groups, and I started to read them, and I was getting a little bitter at how people were explaining their situations or talking about caregiving and how hard it is for them and how awful it is, and they don't have a life, and and just like some people went to great extremes and saying they wish the people they were caring for would pass away already, right? And then so I had to reframe some things and understand that everyone's situation isn't mine. um, and I can give them grace to understand that, maybe their relationships, and in most instances, the relationships they had with the people that they were caring for wasn't great before they started caring for them. They are reluctant caregivers and only doing it out of a sense of obligation and not because they really care or want to, right? So everyone has their situation. I can give everyone grace at this stage, not all the time. It wasn't always that way, and try to understand things. And it's hardest for me to give myself some grace over something so simple last night. And it's going to be something that I have to talk through with someone, and I know it. And why I've been reluctant to even, like, I have had grief counselors reach out to me for free services. I still haven't taken advantage of it because I think I'm okay. So I am at some point in this journey, you will hear me saying I have met with someone, I'm going to someone, but I will always tell you that speaking to someone and getting support is the way to go, because it takes it off of your chest. It helps you to talk through some things that you may not even understand you're going through yourself. And so I am um, really trying, and I'll be fine. I am fine. I know what I meant. I know how I felt about caring for my mom. It was an honor for me to do so, even if it wasn't always easy. Even if I wished for certain other situations, extra help and everything else, right? At the end of the day, caring for my mother gave me purpose, more purpose to my life. And it helped me to give back to her. And it also spurred in me this passion to help other people. And it is an honor of her that I am doing this. So all of the things, all of the good things about this. And I know that, and I'm just going to keep that with me and let go of. Okay, this is me letting go of the sad and bad feelings that I had from yesterday, from using that one word that really just set me off. But at any rate, caregivers and everyone, show yourself grace. Stop being so hard on yourself. Understand that you are human, that things happen, and know what your intentions are. And if you can live in that, stand in that, then everything else really can go to the wayside. I'm not saying that you should not accept that if you've said something the wrong way, or made someone feel a certain kind of way, that you shouldn't accept responsibility for it. But in terms of dealing with yourself, right, being able to just dissect it and be okay with what the end result is all that you can do. So I know my heart. And this is no one else saying anything about what I said. It's just me, right? But I just wanted to get out here. Please do, and take care of yourselves. Give yourself some grace. Allow yourself to feel what you're going to feel. And this is for, right? I'm saying that I am here to help, and I am here to help caregivers, but right? I am just recently no longer a caregiver. And so this is a discussion that is something that could help others who are just like me as well. And I will continue to learn things and experience different aspects and relive different aspects of my caregiving experience and see them from a different light as we talk about many of the different things that I have since learned and continue to learn. Um, but right, this is a whole spectrum from having by being a caregiver and now what's coming after it and all of the feels that are happening there. This is going to be interesting, folks. So come along for the ride. Share this with your friends, families. Tell them about what we're talking about. Have them join us in this discussion here on Instagram, on Facebook. We have an actual closed community on Facebook. Facebook group is called the Caregivers Connect, where you can come in there, and it is a safe space. I will tell you this. I am all for you being able to share everything about how you're feeling, the ups, the downs, and the only thing that I ask is that even if it's a bad day and you want to share that and you just have some feelings that are just yeah, right, share those, but always come with an understanding that hopefully with the feeling that you want solutions, not just to vent and to like let it out and not want a resolution for it or to want people to co-sign only and not try to help you through it, right? Because I want it to be a space where everyone feels safe and where it feels constructive for everyone and not just a place where all of the ick is going because it doesn't feel good. I am in those groups. I'll say something to some people if I have something worth saying, and then I'm out because it starts to get really heavy, and that's not what the intention of this group is, right? We'll talk about all of the things, but we're always solution based and trying to help each other move through this process together. So, if you know someone um, who is in a position to care or who is caring for someone, please do invite them to join the conversation here. Hey, Quinn. And as such, I am good. I will chat to you all later. Whew.